There is now footage of Alex Pretti, the 37-year-old intensive care nurse, becoming increasingly violent with U.S. Border Patrol on January 13th. 11 days before he was sadly killed by U.S. Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis, Minnesota. But what does it psychologically reveal? We're going to break down the psychology, behavior, and body language without being politically partisan. So now, let's get started.
Confirmed by the Pretti family, shows the 37-year-old yelling and cursing at federal immigration agents on January 13th.
Alex apparently had a history, and possibly even a lengthy history, with the U.S. Border Patrol. This, of course, does not imply that Alex deserved to die, but we now have a little bit of the prequel of what happened before January 24th. Also keep in mind, this is the footage that was recorded and also made public. There were possibly many other incidents where he confronted U.S. Border Patrol over the past few weeks, but it was not recorded, and even if it was recorded, maybe it just wasn't made public. The first thing we notice is that there seems to be U.S. Border Patrol in this intersection where car alarms are going off. As of right now, we don't see Alex, so it's going to be interesting to see how Alex enters the scene and what causes him to come into the scene here. We notice a lot of people gathered in this intersection. But what specifically do you notice with most of these people who are gathered in this intersection? Yeah, they have their cell phones out, apparently recording the Border Patrol agents in this intersection. Then here we notice Alex sprinting to that intersection to confront U.S. Border Patrol.
What are you doing here? Get out of here!
Now we hear Alex verbally confronting Border Patrol by yelling expletives. Keep in mind, in this point of the situation, a lot of people are still recording with their cell phones. However, if you notice, when we zoom in here, do you notice anything different with these cameras here? Yes, it appears there's at least 3 professional type of cameras here. Therefore, Alex and pretty much anyone is going to know that this moment here is going to get a lot of attention because there's professional cameras that have larger reach for whatever happens in this intersection.
On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis.
Alex starts flipping off Border Patrol and yelling profanity. Keep in mind, in this intersection, basically everyone's just filming. No one's really saying anything. It's just Alex that is yelling those profanities and also flipping off Border Patrol. Therefore, what do you think is likely going through Alex's mind and what he likely knows is going to happen? Yes, for whatever reason, in this instance here, Alex seems to want attention. Alex apparently wants attention from Border Patrol, and we'll get to that in a bit, but he also seems to want attention from the cameras and the public to film him. The question may be, why does he want that type of attention? The first reason is that he wants the media attention, that he is the one that was against all this, where he can possibly be viewed as a political leader and can actually gain some footing politically for whatever he may want to do, whether that's run for office, run nonprofits, or whatever it is. But it seems that he certainly wants attention. This is certainly not just a quick profanity or a flip off to Border Patrol because I just don't like them in passing. No, it appears he's really trying to agitate Border Patrol and get their attention.
What the wrong with you?
When flipping off doesn't work, he starts pointing at Border Patrol and saying, "What's wrong with you?" Pointing directly to agitate an individual Border Patrol agent.
Every decision you made in your life is wrong. Look at you! Pepper spray bitch!
Now he starts to escalate his verbal attack on Border Patrol, daring him to pepper spray him. He gets a physical response from Border Patrol where they walk up to him, but then just turns around and walks away. It appears Alex is trying to agitate Border Patrol to act aggressively towards him. And if Alex can get Border Patrol to act physically aggressive towards him by Alex just yelling at Border Patrol, what will that result in? Yes, it's going to make Border Patrol look really bad in front of the public because the media is there and they're all going to share what happened to Alex that day. What Alex is trying to do here is what's often called trying to get the other person to jump off sides, where he gets Border Patrol to look unhinged.
You guys!
He calls them trash, and as that Border Patrol agent gets into the back seat of that SUV, Alex seems to spit on him before he can close the door. Alex then keeps yelling, "You're trash, you're trash." When doing all of that is not causing a response from Border Patrol, watch here what Alex does. Yes, he kicks out the right taillight of the Border Patrol SUV. Of course, the agents in the truck are going to feel that their truck was hit. Also, the agents in the SUV probably looked behind them when they felt that first kick from Alex, and when he kicked the taillight again, it confirmed that it was indeed Alex. Also, Alex was really the only escalated one there. Everyone else was just filming, so it was obvious it was Alex. Now notice what Alex does here when the Border Patrol agent gets out of the SUV. Yes, Alex doesn't move until the Border Patrol agent gets really close and starts to grab him. First, Alex seemed to be calling his bluff that he would actually come at him. Two, Alex probably wanted to appear tough in front of the cameras, that he's not going to back down to Border Patrol coming at him. He's going to take him on himself. However, that Border Patrol agent is quite large. So when that Border Patrol agent started to grab Alex, Alex realized that he could be in a lot of pain. So instinctively at that moment, even though he talked a big game, his amygdala kicked in and began to flee, run away. However, before he can run away, Border Patrol grabs him and takes him to the ground. They take him to the ground, they spray basically everyone with smoke bombs and pepper spray. But again, similar to the 24th of January when Alex died, what are they doing with Alex here? Are they gonna arrest him? I mean, he did destroy federal government property. That's a crime. Instead, let's see what happens. When Border Patrol takes him down and a whole bunch of other Border Patrol agents basically pin him down for whatever reason, because I don't know what they're doing there. He should be in handcuffs and arrested for breaking federal government property, which is a federal offense. Alex keeps yelling, help me, apparently trying to appear as the victim. Possibly wanting the media to spin this story to make it look like Alex was not doing anything wrong at all, and Border Patrol is just hurting Alex for no apparent reason. They're just being rough and harming poor Alex over here. This does appear to be the moment where Alex reportedly broke a rib with an altercation with Border Patrol. My whole question here is, what are they doing with Alex? He clearly violated the law. He should be arrested. Instead, what are they doing? Are they just giving him like a Border Patrol noogie?
Breaks a taillight on a vehicle and you get out and you wrestle with that person. The normal thing to do is to arrest that person. If you don't
beat them up and leave them there, right? That's just not. That's
exactly.
not. Okay, just to be clear.
Is this a common thing where Border Patrol just roughs up a protester a little bit who broke government property and then just decides to let him go?
In fact, the unwritten rule is, if you end up in a physical confrontation where you end up rolling around on the ground with somebody enough to maybe even create an injury, that usually follows with an arrest. Otherwise, you're just committing an assault under the color of law and leaving.
It makes you wonder, what was the end game on January 24th?
They're doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
It's also interesting that on January 24th, Alex wasn't appearing to act as unhinged as he was here. This makes us believe that Alex was likely a known agitator to Border Patrol, because on January 24th, they were beating him with a bear spray can. Apparently, after Border Patrol just kind of gets him on the ground for a little while and doesn't arrest him, he squirms away without a coat on. However, what's very interesting is this. Alex's jacket was ripped off, which revealed that he had that gun in his right back waistband like he did on January 24th. But they did not do or say anything about it.
It does not appear that during that time, even though he wriggles out of his coat and escapes their grasp, that they detect or know that he has a loaded firearm in the small of his back in a holster. So they missed that.
It's possible that they didn't see it, but law enforcement is extremely sensitive to firearms and always on the lookout for firearms on a suspect, so it's odd that they didn't notice it. When Alex is released, Alex turns around and yells profanities at Border Patrol. Clearly, Alex seemed to have at least some reputation with Border Patrol, because Border Patrol seems to be keeping a running naughty list. Watch.
It's not illegal to record.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, why are you taking my information down?
Because we have a nice little database.
Oh, good.
And now you're considered a domestic terrorist. So
We're videotaping you?
Therefore, Alex became quite known to Border Patrol as an agitator. It's possible Alex wanted this media attention of what Border Patrol was doing to him, so Alex can appear as like a leader in all of this, that he can be interviewed by the media, and all these clips can go viral of how Border Patrol was acting so terribly to him. And it's possible Alex had political aspirations of his own to appear as a leader against Border Patrol.
You okay? You okay? You okay?
I'm okay. Are we all okay?
Which would allow him to springboard a political campaign, such as running for council, congressman, or anything like that, where he's seen as this leader against a force that a lot of people are against. However, I want to be clear. Alex deserved to be arrested, especially here. He did not deserve to die. I heard one news person on TikTok say that the footage is irrelevant and won't be allowed at trial. However, it probably will be in trial. The defense is going to claim that Alex was looking to get into a physical confrontation with Border Patrol and was not a calm, innocent bystander who was randomly taken to the ground and then shot. While the prosecution will say, sure, he was a little bit of a political agitator, Alex was often carrying a firearm and didn't use it against Border Patrol that day, even though they roughed him up. Psychologically, they'll say that his intention on January 24th was not to cause maximum damage or really to harm anyone with that weapon that he often carries. I think psychologically we all naturally try to paint someone as either good or bad, especially someone we don't really even know. We want to paint them as either the good, innocent, perfect victim or the bad perpetrator. Psychologically, we do that because it's just convenient. It's easier for us to wrap our head around. No matter what, I think we can all agree that political agitators do not deserve to die. They may deserve to be arrested, but they don't deserve to die. My thoughts and prayers are still with Alex Pretti's family, friends, and loved ones during this difficult time. Now in the comments, what do you think of Alex Pretti given this newly uncovered footage? Let everyone know in the comments below. Subscribe for more. And if you want exclusive content and channel perks, hit that join button now below, because your support makes all of this possible. And if you're saying Alex was an ICU nurse, why would he not like his job? A lot of nurses don't like their job, and usually it has nothing to do with the patients, by the way. So to me, it's not very surprising that Alex really wanted a career change, even if that meant getting physically beat by Border Patrol. See you next time.